Let's head over to the phone lines on 03717223344. We got a Liverpool fan on right now. Tommy joins us. Good evening, Tommy.
How you getting on?
Yeah, not well. Troy's been speechless. I've never seen Troy speechless tonight. But
I'm rattled, mate. I'm rattled.
What do we make of today's game then? You know, a lot of people have been saying that Arsenal choked at Manchester City. We had another Liverpool fan on Clubby saying that you guys went to the Etihad and gave it a go. Obviously, the same result was a draw. You know, Liverpool sitting in pole position. Is it your league to lose now, Tommy?
No, 100%. But the reason for calling is because the last Arsenal fan that came on, he triggered me when he was on about this is what Liverpool fans do. This is what Arsenal fans do. They're the most delusional fans out there in the world. They win a couple of games and they just think they're the best team going. They've got nothing to back it up. They've not won anything, I think, in about 4 or 5 years. The FA Cup in 2019, 2020. Apart from that, what have they won? They've not won anything. They always get like this every year. They got like this last year. We're like, the league's ours to win. That guy just came on before and said it was a way to win the league and the Champions League. On what basis? Like, you've just gone to the Etihad. It was bigged up as one of the game of the weekend, and they just bottled it. They just sat back and just let City come at them. They defended well, but they need, if they're the winners that they make out that they are, why don't they go to that to the Etihad and put on a performance?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he's trying to come across it as Arsenal used to always play one way. At least now they can, beat you up, defend better. Obviously, I'm speaking for somebody else here, but I think the way he's trying to come at you there, Tommy, is saying that they was in his position last year and they probably should have learnt from it and got better. I'm paraphrasing because obviously it's not my opinion, but I think it's for you boys to win. What do you think to the way that Liverpool keep going behind and coming back?
Well, like I said, we've been in that position before where
Absolutely.
we've proven it. Like the game against Barcelona in the Champions League final, and then throughout this season consistently, I think we picked up most points from being behind out of any team in there. So if there's any team in the league that shows the desire that we're actually going to go through it and we're actually going to win, surely it's Liverpool. Surely we're showing the most desire.
To be fair, Tommy, even at the start of the season, it was happening, and I kept going, Liverpool can't keep doing this, surely. And they have done it all season. When they've gone behind, you come in and you've just got this mentality of that, we can still win this. I want to ask you something, Tommy, because Clubby just kept saying that you're talking nonsense. Okay, let's fast forward to next season. Of course, we're focusing on the now. But Klopp's going. We've credited how brilliant he's done at Liverpool in terms of leaving a really great team and squad there, which was a bit different to the way Sir Alex Ferguson left Man United, in my opinion. Who would you like to see come in and take over from Klopp next season, Tommy? And, Troy mentioned someone that he goes, you might not expect this, but someone like Gary O'Neill. What do you make of someone like Gary O'Neill, or are you looking for a sort of Hollywood name?
I think he's a good coach. I would personally take someone like De Zerbi, who's like, he just plays that. It's a similar type of football to Klopp. I was a little bit. I was silently relieved when we didn't get Alonso, because I didn't want that to be similar. Like I'd never in the near future want Gerrard to come, because he's another club legend, but I just don't think he's good enough. What Alonso done with Bayern Leverkusen is incredible, but there's a major difference between the Bundesliga and the Premier League, and I wouldn't want him to come here after one season and just, bottle it.
Tommy, just on that, mate, the reason I said Gary O'Neill is because I think Liverpool are going to be with a really young squad next year. I think there's the way, if the rumours are to be believed, there's 3 or 4 of the big players could move on, and you could be left with a real young squad, and I think it could be a team that just needs that younger coach who's used to working with younger players with not too much expectation to go and win the league. If, like you said, if someone like De Zerbi come in, we'd expect Liverpool to still be in the top 4. Fair comment?
I get that, but I think as much as we need a new manager, we got to look about who else is coming as well, because we're losing pretty much the whole back team. Like, we're using Pep Linders and that's like a major part of like the Liverpool's core as well. It's not just the manager we're losing; it's the entire backroom staff as well. So I guess that you're talking about who we're going to bring in, but who are they going to bring in with it?
With them, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Tommy.
Cheers, Tommy, mate.
We've had loads of messages coming in on 81089. I'm not ignoring you texters. We've got just loads of calls coming in that we're trying to get to. John, the Liverpool fan, said that guy calls about a corner shop. Very confused. He's not a Liverpool fan. It's a three-horse race, game after game. It's in the hands of the players of each team and the managers. Balance of fit players. Fantastic weekend of football. A great advert for the Premier League. Go Liverpool Football Club. It's in their hands. P.S. My daughter supports Spurs. Wife's a Man United fan, and my family are all Scousers, red and blue. All my workmates are Gunners, as my first wife when they won the league at Anfield. Wow, that is how do you manage that? You mentioned your household's not all the same.
Mate, it's all Arsenal. It's winding me up.
How did that happen? How did you allow that to happen?
I got with my new missus like 6 years ago. Having a good time, didn't really talk sports, trying to figure each other out, and then a conversation came up, and she kind of dropped a cojones comment in, and I've gone, that's a weird thing for you to say.
Yeah.
And she dropped in, Arsenal fan, dad's Arsenal, brother's Arsenal, then my oldest son's Arsenal, and now all the rest of my kids are Arsenal. Listen, I have an appreciation for Arsenal from Righty days and Thierry Henry, as we all do. Anyone who likes football would appreciate them. We would agree that their fan base over the last few years have become irritating, is the word I'm going to use, and I have to live with that every time. Do you know
what? I'm going to counteract that as a Spurs fan and say I think their visibility on social media due to like Arsenal Fan TV, etc. And I love Robbie, good guy, Robbie, top guy. And I think because there's so much visibility online and they're very prominent online, I think the online supporters get a lot of the headlines and they almost represent what the Arsenal fans are. My friends who are season tickets and diehard Arsenal fans, it's very realistic. And we have good conversations on football. And I like to think that a bit about the same with Spurs fans. People go, Spursy this. You know, this season with Spurs, with Big Ange, I always said it's a free hit for me. We've got a brand new manager in. We've just lost Harry Kane, our best striker of all time. Let's see where we go. So, you know, I just think sometimes the online stuff gets blown out of proportion.
That's fair. But I don't. It's everywhere. It's media as well because we're always talking about it. But
absolutely.
I just think, you know, the ones that come up onto my feed and fall into my world.
I think that's because of the comments. They're searching you out, baby. I often get it. When people say about, when I was Tottenham biased. I'm never biased about Spurs. When they're rubbish, they're rubbish. And that's been more times, you know. The only thing I'll say about Spurs, we'll talk about them later on as well, is Heung-min Son, one of the most underrated players in world football, surely.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
In the number 5 in the all-time goal scorers for Tottenham Hotspur. Unbelievable what the lad's done.
Absolutely. But to be fair, though, he's grown. I always felt playing against him, he was a real good supporting cast because he doesn't have an ego, does he, for Harry? So he was really good in terms of play anywhere behind him, alongside him, but it didn't matter. And then when Harry left, it was like this big gap, and he was like, right, that's me. And you could just feel he was ready to step up because whenever Harry Kane was injured, he would always be the one who scored anyway. So it takes a special character to do the role he has and then step into it. And I think he's fantastic. He's
like one of those actors that just wins Best Supporting Actor for loads of years finally gets his award for Best Actor. Keep your calls coming in to tell us who won Sunday. Was it Liverpool? Was it Man City? Or was it Arsenal? We know the Arsenal ladies, they're the winners tonight as well. And Manchester City fans, are you disappointed with your team tonight? It appears that some of you are upset with Haaland's performance. We'll talk more about that. Get your calls and WhatsApps coming in to us, and we'll hear from an unhappy Emma Hayes next on This Is the Final Word here on talkSPORT.